Now, let's see if he kept it. Double will. I'm gonna give you the claps. Hi guys, this is Juno and welcome back to another account review in Summoner's War. Today we are on Isaiah's account. There is a couple of LD Nat 5s that you see. I believe he has two, right? The one we see right here, Contain the Shang, which is an awesome LD Nat 5 for RTA. And primarily that. I know that ACOG uses him in Siege. And then there's the Rahul, which is definitely not the most exciting LD5, so I'm sorry for that. I do believe the light one, Shazam, might be a little better. It really depends on how you want to use him. Rahul, a stripper, horrible base speed, so it's not that great of a stripper. And Shazam has more of a utility type, damage dealer type. The AoE revenge buff on the team is more helpful, I believe. To me, Shazam has a place in Siege defense, while as Rahul, not so much. Until Rahul gets a buff, right? But Contain the Shang is no joke. Now, I know you told me that you wanted me to focus on arena improvement, arena advice, so that's what I'm going to give him. We're still going to be looking at his box, his runes, and I'll give it an official rank that I think that this account could reach. Let's see if he can reach it with the advice I would give him. So this account has been active for 374 days. I don't know if it's a reset or anything, but I did take a look at the runes. I can safely say that it's definitely, I'll be surprised if it's been playing for longer. C1 in regular arena, F3 RTA, and he is not that interested in RTA right now. He said that he's not ready. Guild battles is F1. I actually don't know what the skill battle is now. Is this a dead record since there's no longer guild battles? Or is the world guild battle now replacing this? Because that means I'm in a G1 guild there. Siege battle, G1. So that's what I'm gonna assume. He's in a G1 guild, but they don't play the world guild battles too much. So that's why we see that low of a record. He's running all his dungeons. 26 seconds there, 55 seconds there, 40 seconds there. All good, all good. Cool. He is doing BGR5. Okay. Let's take a look at his box. Because for a regular arena, units are extremely important. Now, he doesn't have the tanky lead that I wanted him to have, just the Cardinal. He's actually missing a whole lot of units. He doesn't have Zeros, so we have to keep that in mind. Because I know that he has a Tiana, he has a Leo. So we can't run a Tiana Zeros. Does he have a Chung Peng then? Because we need a different resetter if you want to use the Tiana team effectively. Water, he does have a Belio, he has some math. So math can act as a reset. He has the Poseidon. Okay, so technically you could still run a Tiana team, Poseidon, Pengbaek, because he does have Pengbaek, or Alicia, Pengbaek. Just keep in mind, it will be hard for you to go against Triana defenses, Abelio defenses, because if your Poseidon fails to get the pushback, or if your Alicia fails to freeze, or both, then those defenses tend to come back. Okay, Wind. Now, do you have Chung Peng? You do. So you could run the Tiana, Galleon, Chung Peng, Pengbaek. I think that will be the number one offense I'll create. I think that's a really strong offense. You do have a Jingzhe, so you could still go for a tanky defense. You do have Leo. Now, in the fire department, you have Bale. No good. Okay, you have Cocky, so technically you could still use the Cocky damage dealer. Do you have Linda? You do. You could use the Linda damage dealer. I think that's about it on what you could use as a damage dealer. I'll probably start with Cocky because it's probably the easiest to root. You have the Delphoid. Okay, you don't have Varad, right? Yeah, you didn't have Varad, so we can't go with the defense damage dealing team. Let's look at the runes. So I know his Swift runes are pretty lackluster. 26 here with the legend. You can see that we're missing grinds, good gems. Okay. 22 there. 26 here as well. I would definitely switch out this resistance for an HP percent. Very weak slot 4. This tells me you still have work to do with farming. So I know there are some good runes right now. I mean, they're not the best, but there are a few, especially in the Swift runes. It looks like 4 and 5 slots are weak. 6 is also weak. So when you just look at 1 and 3, I could tell you focus on R5, but that's not really the case because your other runes on slot 4, 5, and 6 are extremely weak, meaning that I think that you still need to work on runes. I think that's a priority at least. Let's look at Violent. Weak slot 1, weak slot 3. Okay, decent slot 4 right there. 26. Multiple good slot 5 runes. So 3 that are pretty fast. Okay, so at least you know that other than 4 and 5, 1 and 3 needs work. Let's look at 6. 6 also needs work. Okay, 2 slots that are okay or good, while as the other slots are extremely lackluster. Now Will, okay, weak slot 1 again. Okay, a decent slot 3. Yeah, 20 speed, not bad, with an innate, with good substats as well. Slot 4 looks also good, at least one of them. This is a crit rate rune, has a lot of uses. Weak slot 5 and weak slot 6. It looks like it's pretty common around all the 3 major sets that I just looked at. There's 2 slots that are good or great. When you just look at those, you want to work on R5 and perfect those runes. However, the other 3 slots, obviously that want speed, are extremely mediocre, where it shows me that you have to focus on getting those runes. Let's take a look at Despair. Yeah, Despair, same thing. Actually, it's even worse because there's no rune here that has over 20 speed. Work on GB12. I think I will still just work on GB12, live there, you know, get better Fatal runes, get better Despair runes, get better Blade runes, get better Swift runes, because for your damage dealers, Fatal Blade will take care of that. And then for your speeds, you need better Swift runes, and then Despair runes are also very helpful in every part of the game, RTA, regular arena, Siege. So I do think right now GB12 will give you the most improvement, and it is something that you need to work on. Let's take a look at your damage dealer runes as well, because I just know that nothing here is gonna look that great. Okay, there's a good rune there as well. Just missing grinds. Yeah, only that one rune had over 20 speed. For damage dealing runes, you don't need a lot of speed, but I could tell by the amount of runes that you have and by the grinds, they don't look that great. Some can be really good, especially for damage dealing runes. Like if you see crit rate like this, you might want to gem something out. So farming R5 might not be bad, just to get some of these big improvements. Like this one as well, pretty good crit damage, decent crit rate. But none of them are done. None of them are done, showing me that you still need to do a lot of work in both aspects. But overall, when I look at these runes, they all look pretty lackluster. 80%, 90% of the runes look mediocre, meaning that you have to work on the runes, farming dungeons. Let's take a look at your shop and make sure that you're done here. Okay, this is very good. At least you have most of the towers done, other than your light and dark. I don't know why you're working on dark right now. I'll probably work on light since you have the Kintang De Sheng, unless you're doing this for the Libli. Maybe you have a Libli offense, so you only get more bomb damage out of this. Let's take a look at the defense. So for the defense, I don't like this. I don't like this at all. I don't like Tiana in defense in general because Tiana has a horrendous base speed. And now this Tiana's gonna get nothing done. Even in Fighter 2 level, you are not getting a single defense win. If that's the case, I won't even think about running a defense that's fast, because I know that your Swift runes are really bad. I would go with that Jinzei, the better lead that you have for a tanky defense. If I could find it. Oh, you have some decent Nat 5s here that are ready to get built. Well, I guess not. Some of them are pretty good, but the others are just whatever. Oh, even here. Yeah, you have a lot of Nat 5s. that are just not built. Hope your wind monkey is. Okay, let's start with that. Let's put this. Let's put, what else is good there? I mean, I would like to put a Triana. Well, Obelio. There you go, Obelio. Where's Obelio? Obelio's right there. And the last one, you could put a variety of things, to be honest. You could put Rakan as a strip. No skill ups though, so we'll skip that. You could put, like, I want to put Triana, to be honest. Or we could put a Praha. Praha could work too, or a Juno. Do you have a Juno? You could even put in Perna here instead of the Praha. The one downside is Obelio's not scaled up, so you can even take this out and put in Praha instead. Perna scaled up, right? So this could definitely work. I think you'll do better. But if you put Perna, I think it's still weak against the Pung Back. Well, even if you put Obelio here, Praha, they're all weak against the Pung Back. So I'd rather put one threat or that has some kind of strip, because her skill 2 now does script, right? Or skill 1? Skill 2? Yeah, skill 2. I will run a tanky defense. I'm not gonna change it from now, but if you decide to ruin this, either use the Praha or Obelio for the healer, have the Darien, and then use the Perna. If you want to use this defense during rush, I think I'll change out the Perna for more tanky stuff like a Triana or the Obelio. Use both Obelio and Praha, and who knows, maybe if they get one lucky resist from either of them, they could stall out the match, or they could maybe probably most likely stall out the match, because there isn't a lot of threat here if you take out the Perna. Okay, now offense wise, okay, this is good, but now I want to make sure that you're keeping my rule. There's a certain rule that you have to follow when you're making this team, and I've emphasized this in my videos multiple times. I will be able to spot it because it's pretty clear if this team is tanky enough. So one really important thing is that Leo needs to be on double wheel. A lot of people do not follow this rule because they want to use their Leo on Vampire or Violent due to their siege offenses or whatever offense. But trust me, double wheel is fine. I use my Leo that I use in arena offense in every siege battle. I show it to you guys all the time. It's the Leo, Ladriel, Diana offense, and that Leo is double wheel, and he just stands there. He doesn't need to have Violent or Vampire. He can survive because the Ladriel is right next to him. So yeah, if you guys don't have Ladriel, you guys have to probably run a different offense. But I know Crate SW uses this offense with the Jean or Jean, however you want to pronounce it, the Light Paladin. Light Paladin, Leo, Diana does almost the same thing. Now let's see if he kept it. Double wheel. I'm gonna give you the claps. Now it does look a little squishy, right? It doesn't look like he has a lot of damage. I guess you want to give it the fight set. You don't have to force yourself to give it the fight set. I did it because it gives me more. Well, I did it because I can do it. I still have all the damage I need. I still have all the tankiness I need. But right now for you, it looks a little too fast. First of all, this fight set needs to be this fight rune needs to be replaced. The speed 12 plus 12 is a little too much. Maybe even this will rune needs to be replaced. This is fine. I think you just need the grinds and gems. Get rid of, attack with HP percent and then just grind everything. That'd be fine. If you grind all these runes, I think you'll be a much better Leo. So at least I'll say that you built a Leo correctly. Doesn't have to do a whole lot of damage because your Christina's can do the damage. One downside is that it's a little squishy. I do believe this is still over 100k, but it's right on that edge. Maybe like 120k in my eyes. Now, Galleon. Okay, not bad. 88% accuracy, that's awesome. Not 100 rest, but that's fine. The accuracy comes first. Shield set, perfect. You know that you're lacking some tankiness, so you're bringing that shield set for that extra tankiness. Another fight set that you squeezed in, that's also awesome with the world set. I like what you're doing. This is great. I have to keep in mind on the speed. So this is Galleon that's going right after Leo, so it should be the fastest, 146. Now I would want my Delphoid to be 141 or slower, and that's exactly 141. I love that because you need that 5 speed difference just in case. Even if the Galleon gets slowed, it will still go in front of the Delph one. So this is great. 100 resistance, some accuracy. It looks still a little squishy, but I believe it's just missing grinds and it's not being plus 15. Yeah, so I will work on that. But at least overall, the speed tuning, the taking it when I see it right away, looks good. And because I know that there are runes that are not grinded and plus 15, I know it could get better. So I'll say this is fine. Finally, the Christina, I think that is on the edge of 100k EHP, so that's great. Going last only on 116 speed. That's awesome. But there are flaws, and for people that do not have the rune quality, I will have to say do not go with the vampire set. If you can't get enough damage with the vampire set, which it looks like for the Christina right now, I would just tell you to go with a fatal set or a rage set. Because right now, I think one crit rate is lacking. Yes, some people might argue, hey, her skill 4 doesn't glance. Why do I need crit rate? You still do. Not glancing doesn't mean you're gonna crit. Not like you can still not glance and just hit the unit that does not crit, and it won't do a lot of damage. So I would still try to go for 90% plus crit rate. Obviously 100% is better. Some accuracy for the Oblivion, that's good. But crit damage is a little too low. I think attack is a little too low as well. So sadly, I don't think this offense is going to get too many wins as you start climbing. I also see some runes not being fully powered up. So definitely something that you need to work on. But go with a Vampire or go with the Fatal or a Rage set. Now, you are using the Chung Pung back. Another clap to you. You're following everything that I'm saying, so that's great. Man, I really have nothing to say about these offenses. I'm just going to tell you what you can do to improve on them and what I see, what flaws I see. So Tiana going first on this is fine. You just have to make sure everything is tuned to Tiana. And it is a damage dealing crit damage Tiana, so that's great. Not crit rate, crit damage Tiana on 256. Now, I know that the Galleon and Chung Pung back doesn't have to be too fast, so I'm pretty sure this Galleon is going to go right after on a will focus broken. Now, I would try to squeeze in the fight set here, knowing that this Galleon doesn't have to be too fast because the Tiana is so slow. And another huge flaw is that this is not fully scaled up. Please do not use a Galleon that's not fully scaled up on skill 3. He misses a whole lot of defense breaks, and you really need it to be fully scaled up, okay? Now let's look at the Chung Pung. Not ruined. That's sad. But Chung Pung will go right after the Galleon, so we know that, and then Pung back. Too slow. So this is another common mistake I see for people using the Chung Pung back. You're assuming that Chung Pung will get the pushback, but trust me, if you assume that, you're limiting yourself into going into defenses with fire threats like Carnal, because the aspect of glancing is there. If Chung Pung glances with skill 3, it's not going to get the pushback, meaning your pullback is not going to move because the Carnal is going to cut and then destroy your whole team. So it needs to be faster. It needs to be technically just 1-2 speeds slower than the Chung Pung, so that even if it doesn't get the pushback, it still moves. Like I'm telling you, you can't assume anything. You can't assume your Chung Pung will get the pushback, because even with 85 accuracy, it's still going to glance. And the aspect of resistance is still there. So that's the flaw in that team. Now you have one more with this one. Okay, again, same theory. You're assuming that the Poseidon will get the pushback. 91 accuracy, so that's great. Low crit rate, because you know that this is not going to glance, but same thing applies. If your Pungback is too slow, they're going to cut. Your Pungback's going to die. Or not die, it could live, but that doesn't guarantee that it'll move, right? Okay. And because of this, I'm pretty sure this offense is going to fail multiple times. So I will tell you to fix that. But I do think this is the offenses that you should be running. So you're doing well on that. I think that's all I want to say about this account, because he wanted me to focus on his arena stuff. And I think if he puts a tanky defense and if he fixes the issues that he has with his arena offenses, I do think he could end C2. I think it's possible if he rushes right. C2, yeah, C2 probably. Think it will be possible. I mean, I didn't use a swap, the optimizer, to see what kind of builds I could make, But seeing how his towers are almost done, other than his L&D stuff, but we're not using any L&D in the defense and offense, so that doesn't matter. He has all the tankiness that he needs to get from the towers. I think he just needs to work on his runes a little. He needs to plus 15 those runes. It's really important as well, especially in defense, because every stat counts. And for the offense, I just want to advise you to level up your slot 1s at least to plus 15, because that's extra damage. You only have 7 mil mana, yes, so I will advise you to just keep farming to get more of that mana so you can plus 15 those runes. And with that, I think you could probably get to at least C2, which would be a new record for your account. Maybe, who knows, if you're really lucky, you could even sneak into C3. But that was it, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys watched till now, please like and subscribe. Also, if you guys want to get account reviews like this, please join my Patreon, because all my Patreons get account reviews. If you want to join a great community of Summoners War players, my Discord channel now has 1,000 plus members, and also you can find the information you need to get account improvements there. Yep, that was it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.